Hello everyone, with the Kuli banner coming out soon, I want to take a moment to talk about the things that I consider when thinking to summon on a raid up banner. To clarify, these aren't Klee specific points, these are things that I consider when looking at any raid up banner that comes to the game. Alright, so getting into this, the first point I want to cover is mainly for the whales, and this is if you're a collector. Are you someone who feels like your life will be incomplete unless you get every last character in the game? If that's you, I definitely think you were going to summon anyway, so this video might not really be for you. Cool, but being a whale myself, and not a collector, these are the points that I consider when thinking if I'm going to summon on a banner. Okay, so the real first thing that I consider is what do they bring to the team, and what role that character fits in. Each character primarily fits into one of the three main roles in my opinion. Those roles are DPS, support, and healer. Every character in Genshin Impact provides benefits to the team, and those benefits normally fall into these three roles. I'm sure everyone has seen dozens of videos going over these categories and roles, but if you're new to the game, or if you just happen to stumble on my video without ever playing, let me go over them real quick. So, DPS characters. DPS characters are your bread and butter. This is a character that you primarily have out on the field to spam their normal skills as well as their normal attacks. You mainly will only switch out your DPS characters when you need to set up elemental combos or provide healing for them. Characters that fall into the role are your Delukes, your Kachings, and your Razors. That being said, I do believe that any character in the game can be built for DPS. However, I don't believe they're as successful as characters that are really designed to fill the DPS role. Moving to the next category, and I think this is the broadest category, that's the role of support. Support is the character that you're switching out to set up the combos for your main DPS. There are plenty of characters in this category that can fit both the DPS and the support role perfectly well, such as Faishal, Chongyang, and Jingling. However, as mentioned earlier, I'll be putting them in the support category since they can fit this category just as well or better than the DPS category. The final category is healer. This one is self-explanatory. If they can provide heals, they most likely fall into the healer category. So the category is for characters like Chi-Chi, Noelle, Jean, and Barbara. There's also Bennett, who can provide some healing with his ult. However, I do believe that this healing is more in addition to his ability to be a support and doesn't make him a healer himself. Okay, so now that we have our categories defined, let's talk about how I apply that when looking at a character on a banner. To help us better apply my logic, I'm going to take Zhao for an example. We're going to look at him and think, what does his skills and abilities bring to the table, and what role does that primarily fit into? To begin, we're going to quickly go over his abilities, starting with Whirlwind Thrust. This is his normal attack, and his normal attack performs up to 6 rapid strikes, while his charge attack is a dive down and impact the ground, causing damage relative to falling height. Can only be triggered in midair. This is a pretty normal attack string. However, the only interesting thing to note is his charge attack used to be a mechanic unique to him. However, now every character has that mechanic in their plunging attack. So this is probably going to be changed when he finally gets released. Next, we have Lemnistic Wind Cycling. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that correctly. Zhao lunges forward, dealing anemo damage to enemies along the path. This can be used mid-air and has 2 charges to begin with. So reading this looks like an effect that can be immediately triggered and applied to everyone in Zhao's path. Since it has 2 charges and it can be used rather frequently, that skill can be used to either trigger elemental combos as a main DPS, or something you switch into to set up swirl effects on a large number of enemies as a support. Last, we have Bane of All Evil. Zhao takes on the form of the Yaksha, which terrified both demons and archons alike millennia ago. For its duration, increases Zhao's attack range and damage, while converting damage type to anemo and enhancing Zhao's jumping ability. Maintaining this form consistently drains Zhao's HP. Reading this is where Zhao's role really becomes obvious to me, since this is a skill that has very little value while Zhao's off the field, meaning this is an ability that you would want to go into and just keep Zhao out, cleaving through enemies as a main DPS. Alright, we can safely say Zhao's a DPS character. Although there's a possibility that there's changes made to him by the time he's finally released, I do believe he'll still be a DPS character when that time comes. So now that we have identified that Zhao's a DPS character, we need to look at our own team to see if we already have someone that fills that role. Taking my characters as an example, we can see that I already have Diluc and Keqing built out as DPS characters, as well as several other characters like Beidou, Chungyang, and Reze that I can build out later if I need additional ones. With all that considered, I may not need an additional DPS, so I may want to consider skipping Zhao's banner when he comes out. We won't go into detail about the elements since they're all pretty self-explanatory. I'll just quickly list them out. We have Anemo, Cryo, Electro, Geo, Hydro, and Pyro. There's also Dendro, but since Dendro is currently with no character, we won't be including that in our list. However, me considering a banner doesn't stop at what role they fill. The next thing I want to look at is what element they fill. Taking Zhao from our last point, Zhao is an Anemo character, so I once again would want to look at what characters I have, but this time focusing just on the Anemo ones and thinking, do any of them fit that DPS role we identified in the last section? Looking into my own units, I have Jean, Venti, and Sucrose for Anemo. None of these characters directly fill the DPS role. Jean can be played as a self-sustained DPS if I want, but I mainly run her as a healer as that's the category I believe she excels in. Venti and Sucrose I believe both play the support roles the best. So the answer is no, I don't think I have an Anemo DPS necessarily. Alright, so now considering both the 2 points that I went over, I don't really need any DPS characters, but if I was to get one, I don't have any Anemo ones. So personally I weigh the role higher than I weigh the elements, since I can make an Anemo combo without a main DPS Anemo character. So I think I still lean toward the no, I don't really need Zhao. However, there's one more point that I like to consider, and to me this is the highest weighted point, and that's, does that character look fun? Does this look like a character that I want to play and that I'm going to enjoy my time playing? Alright, so I've watched Zhao's gameplay, I've gone over his skills and his constellation, and to me, Zhao absolutely looks like someone I would like to play with. Even if I don't think he's really something I need or helpful to the team, it's still a character that I'm going to want to summon. Alright, all that being said, I'm absolutely in love with Zhao's gameplay and kit. I can't wait till he comes out, and I'm planning a massive summoning video for when he drops. So I hope you all stick around for that. Back to the video though, this is more of a bonus tip, but for some people this might be the most important tip when considering a banner. And that's, what are the 4 stars on that banner? When going over the 4 stars, I apply the same logic I apply to the 5 star, but instead of looking at it as just a base character, I look at it at max constellation. Because for me, when I was pulling on Venti's banner, after 180 pulls to get 1 Venti, I also was able to max constellation every 4 star that was rated up on that banner. Alright, thanks for watching. This has been my thought process that I apply when looking at banners in this game. I've applied this to all future characters that we even have leaked information about, just to think if I really need that 5 star. If you'd like to see me apply this logic to Cleve's banner or any banner that's coming up in the future, please just comment down below and let me know, and I'll make sure to have those videos out. Alright, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I hope you join me in my YouTube journey as I put out better and better content and hopefully grow as not only a player but a content creator as well.